This is Jeremy. This is his house. At least, he would like it to still be his house. In 2005, Jeremy and his then partner wanted to buy a home, so they did what anybody would do and received a loan.
We did pretty well here until 2008 when the economic crisis finally reached Seattle. And overnight in November, the construction company I had that had a year of work on the books, all of that work disappeared. And so I struggled to find employment for the next 5 years almost.
He borrowed money from his family to save it. Now, Jeremy is working full-time, and he says he's more than capable of paying his loan, but he's still facing foreclosure and eviction. While Jeremy was living in his house, his loan went through a journey. Unbeknownst to Jeremy, in 2005, Morgan Stanley bundled his loan into a securitized trust, along with thousands of other mortgages, and sold it off to a huge group of investors around the world, all represented by Deutsche Bank. Back to Jeremy. Last year, he received a notice of foreclosure from Wells Fargo. Jeremy says because his loan is owned by hundreds of investors, the banks have no incentive to deal with him.
When I asked for any sort of mediation or any forbearance plan where I could make payments and catch up because I had just returned to work full-time, they said that I wasn't eligible for those programs and that they didn't have to do it, and because they weren't legally compelled to do it, they weren't going to do it.
When Jeremy went down to give Wells Fargo a rent check in a sign of good faith, the downtown Wells Fargo closed every entrance so he couldn't get in. With Wells Fargo's stonewalling, Jeremy found an 800-page document called the Prospectus on the Securities Exchange Commission website and combed through it to figure out who could help him with his loan. On the eviction order, the plaintiff is listed as Deutsche Bank as a trustee for Morgan Stanley. So Jeremy tried to contact Deutsche Bank. Their Seattle office didn't answer the phone, and it turned out to be an empty building. When he went to Morgan Stanley, they said they'd securitized his mortgage and sold it off, and no longer have a stake in it. Looking at the documents again, Jeremy figured out that Wells Fargo has the power to stop his eviction. He received an eviction notice in May. After activists from SAFE, Standing Against Foreclosure and Eviction, blockaded his home to defend it, King County Court granted him a stay on the eviction, but it expired, and the eviction order is back on the books. So Jeremy legally has no right to his home, and once again finds himself facing eviction. What's your plan?
My plan is to keep fighting. My plan is to continue to pressure Wells Fargo to do the right thing.